Hey guys, it's Jessica Hayes. I am back for just a quick little, well, I don't know if it's going to be quick yet because I haven't edited yet and I'm probably chatting quite a bit, but a chatty, using new stuff, just a general catch up because it's been quite a while since I've done one of these on YouTube. So I'm using a lot of new things that I love, some new Cozzette, some new Sigma, and some lip bar products as well. So if you want to have a chat and learn this pretty but, I don't know, pretty but poopy, as always, makeup, then you know what to do. So this is the third intro that I've done. It's been so long since I've done YouTube, I kind of just forget about everything. But I did two other big long rambly ones where I spoke for ages while I was putting my moisturizer on, but I did use this Osea Atmosphere Protection Cream. That's probably one of my biggest pet peeves about YouTube or watching YouTube is the intros. Oh my gosh. If you've got a 3-minute long intro, I'm not even gonna watch. I don't have that attention span. So I'm using, for the first time, this is first impressions of the Lip Bar Quick Conceal, and this is the lighter shade Ivory, and ooh, it looks like it's gonna be perfect. And this is definitely going to end up in my obsessions video, this Cozzette number 13 concealer brush. When I first saw it, I was like, that's not necessarily my favorite shape for concealer. I usually like something a little more round like that, but holy moly, this is like, I guess like the perfect middle finger size if you're used to putting your concealer on with your fingers, but with that nice point so it gets up underneath the lash line. I'm obsessed. And as you know, Cozzette forever and ever will be my favorite brushes, fur-free or not. They are just hands down the best brushes. Yes, they are expensive, but good brushes should always be an investment, and some of these I've had for a long time now and there's no signs of wear whatsoever. So I like that. That is the Lip Bar Quick Conceal in Ivory 1.0. I don't think I've actually used the Lip Bar Fast Face on camera yet. I know I used it for an Instagram TV video thingy. I don't like this little brushy thing that's on there. I don't know, I just don't like it. And I would have to like clean it more often than I do when I have like 5 different foundation brushes that I rotate between in front of me. I feel weird cleaning a foundation actual brush, like brush with foundation. You know what I mean, oh my gosh. I just don't like the applicator. So usually I squeeze it off and then use brush of choice. And generally, I like any flat, firm foundation brush. Lip Bar is cool to me because it's actually a Detroit brand. They're a really cool vegan company, women-owned, black-owned business as well. I really, really, really love their lipsticks. I have the colors Ginger and Tonic and Fearless that I wear a lot. So one thing that I have been obsessed with lately, just because I haven't been wearing a lot of makeup now. I don't know whether it's because it's Corona or just because I'm getting older. I just don't want to wear as much crazy makeup as I have been the last 2 years. But yeah, I have been obsessed with this color here, and this is such a great contouring color, or just all over the lid. Same with this, just all over the lid, but basically I've been using this all over my lid just as a day shade, and it's really, really nice. So this is the Stephanie Lange X Sigma palette, and this is all clean and vegan. I do have another new thing that I have tried out for a few days, is this Cozzette cream colors. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like this green, so incredible. They're like a creamy foil pigment. So I've been just wearing these like neutral colors just to work for a few days, and I really, really love them. They stay on really well for a cream, and I put them on without primer as well. I think I'm gonna do a little combo of some of these and use some new things and just chat. So I'm using this color that I said was my favorite. It's called Sunset. So Stephanie Lange, always. Herman, enough. She is originally from Australia and she's really big on YouTube. She's a vegan influencer. I would say that we don't really have similar styles to each other, but I really appreciate all of her vegan recommendations, and she has quite a large following, so good for her for showing that the ease of the plant-based lifestyle to millions of subscribers on YouTube. I'm going to use this Makeup Geek Soft Dome brush. I'm just going to use a little bit of this and a little bit of this color, which is called Honeycomb, which is an incredible contouring color. It's cool for a really pale contour without making you look too dead. I'm already feeling like I want to quit this video because I definitely should have put a primer down first before I just started swinging these eyeshadows onto my eyes, but whatever. It might end up being a total disaster, but at least I got creative. Just gonna use the tip of this brush. Don't know what it is. It's definitely a furless brush, but the number is rubbed off. And just a bit of this honeycomb shade, and I'm just gonna start to blend over that unprimed eyeshadow that we did. I haven't been using eye primers lately. I honestly haven't done makeup for anything where I feel like my makeup needs to last a really long time. So anyways, what's been happening? Corona, lockdown. Maddie and I have been doing tons of Airbnbs, which has been incredible. We usually travel a ton, so that's probably the biggest change in our lives for us. Is we had a ton of incredible travel plans postponed. I'm not gonna say cancelled, just postponed, and basically we're just trying to make the most of what we can do. Michigan is an absolutely incredible state. There is basically, I think it's like you can't go 5 miles without running into a lake in Michigan. So what I've been doing is I've been going on the Airbnb app and I literally just search Michigan and all of these random little places in the middle of the state come up. There's been so many cool ones that we've found just randomly just through the Airbnb search. You know, if you want to be fancy and click the waterfront filter, then you totally can, but what I've found is if you're on waterfront, you're definitely going to have neighbors, but if you do like rural in the trees, it's secluded and awesome and just nature. So that's what we've been doing to keep ourselves sane during the travel ban right now, and it's been really cool. We stayed in an amazing castle. I call it a castle. It was actually called a cottage in New York State, where we met up with some friends for Halloween. So that was amazing. I found that on Airbnb, and it actually had a waterfall on the property, so that was nuts. So we also stayed just recently at a Frank Lloyd Wright house that was here in Michigan as well, and that was just beautiful architecturally. It was just so cool to stay in. These last two places have kind of felt like we were staying in museums, like they were too good for us to actually be able to stay in, but they were both very homely and enjoyable. Other than that, we haven't done any traveling out of the state other than New York for Halloween. Not New York City, New York the state. It was a very rural area and we just hung out with the few friends that were there. So yeah, that's what we've been doing to stay sane, and I've also had a little bit of time off in October and a little bit of time off in November. I literally just went back to work yesterday and today is Thanksgiving, so just trying to do a little bit of a work-life balance. I think it was really tough once lockdown ended. I felt swamped by clients. Everyone wanted to get their cancelled appointments back in, and it was very stressful. So now that I've gotten all of those appointments covered, I'm just trying to, you know, take off some time to enjoy myself. And I feel like a lot of people have learned this lesson during lockdown, that working your life away isn't like the most crucial important thing to do, and it's like nice to enjoy time with family, and you know, not to feel like just, you know, you have 2 days off and one's an errands day and then the next day is just like a house cleaning day and then you're back to work. See, I'm rambling so much. I'm going to use the Sigma E60 brush and this Beautimus Cozzette Crystal Cream Shadow in Devotion. So for cream shadows, you always want to use like a firm patting motion. A lot of the time for cream shadows, I would use my finger to put the product on. I don't know why, it just works out better that way, but if you don't want to use your finger, make sure you use a firm brush and a pressing motion. You don't really want to blend cream shadows into already matte shadows, so I'm sure you can see I'm ending my shadow where I want it to end and then blending down from that. I'm not going to try to force blend the cream into the matte that we just did. I love that, but I also want it to be like a little more poopy. So I'm gonna put this one here, Armor. You can't see it on camera, which is such a bummer. It's got like, it's like bronze, but with a antique greenish gold over it. Let's see if you can see that better on the finger. I don't know, whatever, but I'm just gonna blot this on with my finger. Oh yes. Definitely go the finger for cream shadows. I basically today was just going to completely binge watch Younger or do a YouTube video. And I sat there and I sat there and I sat there and I was like, you know what? I don't need to work. And then I was like, no, I feel like getting dressed up and not being a couch slouch. So here I am doing some random makeup. Didn't really have a plan in mind of what makeup I was going to do. I just kind of wanted to check in. I'm going to use this Ether Beauty matte palette, which I absolutely love. This is the Joshua Tree palette. And their palette, this is a clean palette as well. It's a completely recyclable palette. So I'm going to be taking that little poopy mustardy shade and just making that more poopy underneath the eyes, basically. So I was doing a Ask Me Anything questionnaire thingy on Instagram, and someone was asking if I ever feel like I want to quit Instagram because it can get so draining sometimes, and my response was every damn day I think about quitting. Maybe not every day, but very, very often I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna freaking delete my Instagram. I'm over this. Just because I am like a mindless scroller on it some days, or some days it makes me feel depressed. Some days it makes me like, you know, compare myself too much to others. But basically what I've been doing very, very often is deleting my Instagram when I feel like I've just, you know, been on it too much. I will delete it off my actual phone. I have to do this if I don't delete it and I just try to hide it in some random app folder. I know where that is. I'm just gonna end up scrolling there and mindlessly looking at stuff when I could be playing with my puppies or reading a book or doing something other than mindless scrolling on Instagram. So that's my way of dealing with it right now before I truly get fed up. Maddie and I just watched that documentary, The Social Dilemma, the other day. Holy wow. Their whole premise of being on social media is to like keep you on for longer. They want your time. They want your time, and the longer that they can engage you and get you to stay on Instagram, the better it is for them to make money from the people that pay Instagram to sell ads and whatnot. Anyways, I'm not gonna dive too deeply into it, but I strongly recommend, if you guys have social media, which I'm sure most of you do, any type of social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, definitely have a look at it. It might make you want to completely delete all of your social media, or it might just make you realize the ins and outs of what they're trying to do when they're sucking us in with social media. So it might just make you a little more aware of the time that you spend on there, maybe, hopefully. Those were some new things. I'm sure I've definitely talked about this before. I think it was in my last Obsessions video. Absolutely love this palette. Highly recommend. I was sent this, but I would 100% buy it myself, without a doubt. Ether Beauty, clean, recyclable. Also loving the Stephanie Lange Essentials palette. I will definitely keep that out to do the contour with that. And then also was just recently sent these Cozzette cream shadows. Oh, beautiful, heavenly. These colors, like these two, I just want to do a really, really bright, like disco inspired look by them, but that'll have to be another day. That's not Thanksgiving Day. Another product that I recently got, Linda Hallberg Infinity Brow Sketch and Sculpt. It's kind of annoying not having a spoolie on the end of a brow pencil, but I mean, I have 12,000 of them laying around, so that's just a peeve that isn't really valid. But I did take it when I went to the Airbnb a few days ago, and I was like, man, I don't have a spoolie. But the good thing about it is that you have a brow pencil, and then by a little sketchy tip on the end. So I do often use a brow pencil underneath my brows. I have microblading, and I also have like kind of that feral brow look going on right now, where I don't want a really clean underside of my brow. I like those little fluffs. So what I do sometimes is just grab a pencil and just add a little bit of definition underneath the brow. So just creating a little bit of a line. And then I'm just gonna very softly, I should slow-mo that, very softly. I say that because, oh my, I'm a microblader, and a lot of people draw their brows on way too freaking much. It's a trend. I've definitely bitched about this in other YouTube videos, but holy moly, we are gonna look back at this decade and be like, why didn't any of our friends save us from our brows? And I've been a victim of it too. I probably, in 5 years, will look back at this brow and be like, whoa, what were you doing? I feel like dip brow ruined the brow era. Just that thick, globby, like pomade, completely opaque eyebrow. It's just such a harsh look. So that's why I'm like very, very, very softly just feather this pencil into the brow. I like to put a pencil in and then just lightly buff it out with a spoolie. And then I'm gonna use the flicky side. I like to just add a few little random fluffs through the eyebrow. I feel like this just kind of amps up my microblading a little bit. And then it just makes the brow look a little more textured rather than just being all one layer of color. So I love that there's 2 different products in this one little pen, because I'm all about convenience. Just add a few little flicks in where my fluffy ferrules are. And then I always add flicks on top, and then basically always just take them off because I do it, and then I'm like, oh, that's too much. Absolute favorite eyeliner. This one's, I accidentally broke it, so I do need a new one, but the Ofra, what is it, verified liner. I've been doing like these tiny little side wings lately, and this is by far one of my favorites that I've used. It's just nice and fine and easy to get that good teeny wing. Made my liner a big chunk, so I'm just going in with this Prestige makeup eraser pen. So I've corrected the wing, but then that gets rid of the shadow that's under there, so I'm just gonna go back in with my little Cozzette brush and hope for the best. There we go. So I'm just gonna curl my eyelashes, and I've had this eyelash curler for so long, since I was in beauty school. Oh man, I hate it when you like miss one. So annoying. But I did want to ask you guys if you have any recommendations for a good cruelty-free brand. I have tried the Charlotte Tilbury one, and I think I like that one, but if you guys have any other recommendations, let me know. Gonna go back to the OG Too Faced Better Than Sex baby trial size. I wore fake lashes quite a lot during Halloween because I was doing some fun looks and stuff that deserved fake eyelashes, and I definitely ripped out a few little lash hairs from every time I did that. So I'm using my Revitalash to grow those little nubbins back. I used to use Grande Lash, and I've used a lash serum for a long time now, and I started off with Revitalash and then went to Grande Lash just because it was a little bit cheaper. But then Grande Lash changed their formula and they're no longer vegan. So annoying. So I'm back to the Revitalash, and it actually definitely works better. When I switched directly over from Grande Lash to Revitalash, I just expected them to kind of stay the same. But whoa, there was definitely a difference, and they definitely got longer. I'm going to use again that color Honeycomb that I've been raving about from that Sigma palette, and this perfect little cheek brush. It's honestly the perfect shape for this way for contouring, and then lay flat on for the apples of the cheeks. So see how that Honeycomb, don't mind my hairline, I just got my hairs did today. The Honeycomb is like, when it goes on, it's not super cool. It's cool but warm. Not really anything cute in there that I want to use for blush. So, oh, actually, this is one that I've been obsessed with. I don't really know whether this blush is going to go so much with this look, but whatever, let's do it anyway. This is the e.l.f. Cantaloupe Blush Duo. I love this just underneath the eyes. I've been using it as like just a fun little easy way to do makeup, and just pop this very yellowy orange blush just underneath the eyes, just for something fun and different. Very, very wearable. Oh, actually, new lip liner from ColourPop that is vegan, which is awesome. I love ColourPop. They have so much cute stuff, but very often the stuff that I like is not vegan. They're basically, I'd say about 25% of their stuff is vegan. So this is, I love their lippy liners. What are they called? Lippy pencils. But this is a really nice one, just a nudie color to line with. Absolute, hands down, favorite lipstick lately, Ginger and Tonic by the Lip Bar, just because it's a super nude shade. And if you have it on underneath your mask and you end up talking, as you know, if you've worn a bright color underneath your mask, you take your mask off and you look full Joker. So this is a nice nudie neutral shade that has, it's like a little bit cooler, greyish, but not too greyish. I look like I've forgotten how to put lipstick on, I don't know. Yeah, anyways, that is the Lip Bar. Ginger and Tonic, gorgeous, gorgeous. Let's fluff these boys up a little bit. Anyways, that is that. So trying to think if I left anything out. October was a really fun, cool month. We did a lot of very socially distanced, cool Halloweeny things with friends. Ended by a little Halloween trip with some close friends at this majestic historical site in New York. And then yeah, basically just been staying sane by trolling Airbnb. I swear I should change this YouTube, Instagram into like Airbnb and then hopefully get sponsored for staying at Airbnbs. That would never happen. Anyways, I don't want to, I have seriously thought about that, and I don't want to, there takes a certain joy out of it. Like, I've always loved doing makeup, creative makeup. And then when I started doing Instagram makeup, it was like, you know, I'd do my makeup for going out, and then I'd be like, well, if I've got makeup on, I should take a photo for Instagram so I could post it. And then my makeup looks turned into like, oh my gosh, now my makeup has to be perfect because I'm putting it online, and then it almost takes like the creativity and the fun out of it. Don't get me wrong, perfect, well executed makeup, I mean, who wouldn't do it if that's what you want? But when you're just like going out and getting ready and just want to have a little bit of fun and be creative, and then all of a sudden it turns into, oh, this is a post for Instagram, it takes away from it in some kind of way. And I feel like changing my Instagram into more of a travel Instagram, I don't want to take the fun out of travel at all. I just noticed while I'm talking that I'm a little bit shiny, so it's Hourglass Ethereal Diffused Light, one of my favorite powders. All right, cool. Well, that is it, my friends. Thank you as always for hanging out with me. I will see you very shortly for my obsessions video. Between that, stay safe. I hope you're all well. Hang in there mentally. If you have the income to be able to afford it, I highly recommend just get a random little cabin Airbnb in the trees and hang out, delete your social media for a few days. You'll be in heaven, I promise. Cool. Bye guys.